Hello again, everyone. Welcome into Cowboys Star. Hope you all are having a great day today. The Cowboys had a great game this past Sunday, defeating the New York Jets by the score of 37-22. The score was not indicative of how the game actually went. The Cowboys went into a defense at the end there and kind of let the Jets get back in the game. They got 2 touchdowns with two 2-point conversions there at the end. The Cowboys were up 37-6 at one point until the last period when the Cowboys backed off their defense and let the Jets pass a little bit there to kill time. But I wish the Cowboys wouldn't do that in a game from now on. I wish they would just continue pressing hard on their throats, but that's not the case. The Cowboys didn't do that. So anyhow, we ended up victorious in this game. Cowboys had a really good offensive showing in this game, and there's a lot of reasons the Cowboys won, and I'm fixing to go over a lot of the reasons. The good news for the Cowboys is the offense keeps humming. And I'm going to talk a little bit later about the defense, which our defense did have a change this week. Now, the Cowboys are first in yards per game at 406.6 yards a game. They're fourth in points per game with 30.2. And the rush success rate of the Cowboys is second in the league at 48.8%. So the Cowboys offense is really humming with one Dak Prescott at the helm. He's having an MVP type year so far, and hopefully he can keep this up. He's looking like he's in really good shape and doesn't look like he's ever had surgery on that hamstring. He's really running good, passing good. He had a good game in this game, but I wouldn't say his game was as good as this game wasn't as good as the one against the Packers and the Eagles. He was just a tick off on some of his passes, although he was able to complete enough passes to get 4 touchdowns in this game, and he passed for over 270 yards. So not complaining, just explaining on that one. He was accurate. He wasn't as accurate as he was in those other 2 games I mentioned. But Dak has completed 71% of his passes thus far this year for 1,356 yards and 10 touchdowns. And that's 271 yards per game average for Dak Prescott. So as I say, he is, in fact, in the MVP conversation as we speak right now, folks. Now, Dak has done all of this not having 4 of his starting offensive linemen. All of the Tylers are out. Tyler Beebe, Tyler Smith, and the other Tyler Booker, he was out also. So we had all but 4 out of 5 backups in there on the offensive line. And not to mention, we still didn't have CeeDee Lamb, and we still were able to exploit their secondary in the passing game. George Pickens has been a good pickup so far for the Cowboys. And since CeeDee Lamb has been out, George has 37 targets. He has 23 receptions for 357 yards and 5 touchdowns. He has scored a touchdown in each of the last 4 games for the Cowboys. So thank God we picked up George Pickens, because if CeeDee Lamb would have been out and we didn't have George, it would have been a horrible turn of events for the Cowboys after CeeDee got that ankle injury. Another present surprise this year so far has been one Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson has been targeted 48 times, which is first in the league, with 41 catches, which is also first in the league, for 272 yards and 3 touchdowns. and 158 yards after the catch. So Jake Ferguson has proven to be a great target for the Cowboys, for Dak Prescott. And it's good to see Jake get a few touchdowns, as he didn't even get a touchdown all of last year. So way to go, Jake. Hopefully he can keep it up and stay healthy. Now, the main guy I want to talk about for the Cowboys is one Javonte Williams. Where would we be without Javonte Williams? He is a beast, man. There was one play in this game where it was like 3rd and 2, and they gave the ball to Javonte, and it looked like he was going to be trapped behind the line of scrimmage. And somehow, some way, he was able to squirt forward for 3 or 4 yards and a first down, which was a crucial point in that game. But he's just a beast. He's carried the ball 79 times for 447 yards, which is a 5.7 average per carry. And he's got 5 touchdowns and only 1 fumble lost this year. I can remember last year, I think all of last year, we didn't have but 6 touchdowns rushing the ball. And Javonte already has 5. So kudos to Javonte Williams. What a great pickup by the Cowboys. I hope we can keep him a couple more years. He is in a free agent year, so hopefully the Cowboys will pay the man because he's worth it. And Jaden Blue finally was able to be active in this game, and he was primarily used as a kick returner in this game. He did get a handful of carries, but he didn't break one or anything. He got a few yards, but nothing spectacular. But at least he did get active for this game with with the Cowboys. Now, the defense for the Cowboys is what really had a turn of events for the good this week. We hadn't been able to put any pressure on the opposing quarterback up until this week, and it was all because Eberflus decided to run a few stunts and in this game, and I tell you, these stunts that he ran really did do the trick, and the Cowboy defensive ends and linebackers were getting to the Jet quarterback. So I hope he keeps that up. The defense, for the first time this year, did its job, like I said. They had a 50.9% pressure rate. And averaged just 2.32 seconds to get the pressure. And that's the fastest time of the year so far for the Cowboys. This is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Cowboys. As long as we can do 2 things, really 3 things in each game, I think the Cowboys will be in all of these games, especially the way Shoddy's been calling plays. Him and Dak have been on the same page, it looks like, tit for tat on each of these play calls. But the 3 things that the Cowboys need to do in these next games is we got to rush the passer like we did in this game. We've got to be able to stop the run, which we didn't do too well in this game here with the Jets. And we need to be able to run the ball as we have been doing just about every game we've had this year with Javonte Williams. Anytime you can rush the ball like the Cowboys have been doing, that's going to open up your passing game because you can do play action, and that's what Dak's been doing. He's been doing play action a lot, and that's been the running game has been opening that up for Dak. The Cowboys have to keep the pressure on. We're still not. We're a game behind the Eagles. The Eagles lost this week to the Broncos, 21-17, which that was music to my ears. I was glad to hear that. And so the Cowboys are like a game behind the Eagles right now. Of course, the Giants lost again. They're like 1-4, and Washington won. I think they're 3-2. So we're still in 3rd place right now. So hopefully we can get a couple more losses for the Eagles and the Commanders, and we can move up in the division. We play the Carolina Panthers this coming Sunday. Bryce Young, he's a mobile quarterback. So you know what that means. The Cowboys are going to have to really apply the pressure like they did against the Jets with Justin Fields. I know that Bryce can run. He's going to be running on us. So it seems like every team we play now has a mobile quarterback. There used to be back in the day, back when Romo was playing, there was a lot of pocket passing quarterbacks, but those days have come and gone. It's like all these quarterbacks are runners. They can run just as well as pass the ball. So remains to be seen what players are going to come off the injured list this week. Hopefully we can get at least some of our offensive linemen back. And it shouldn't be too long that DeMarvion Overshown makes an appearance for the Cowboys. And wouldn't that really help our defense with his speed and his knowledge of the defense? That would really help the Cowboys, and he's good about placing people in the right spots and all that kind of good stuff. And so we'll see what happens in this next game, see who the inactives are and who the actives are. And that's about all I got today. Be sure and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate those who have. And leave a comment in the comment section on if you think the Cowboys are going to win this week against the Carolina Panthers. With that being said, you guys have a great one. We'll catch you next time. I'm out.